Good morning, students. Am I audible? Am I audible?
Yes, sir.
Okay. Okay, inform your friends to join. So this is a class of railway engineering, professional elective 1. So up to last class, we have roughly we have completed the second module. So till now, if I go on the revision of first and second module, in the first module we have discussed about different component of railway track. Okay, we have discussed about different component of railway track, and I advise you also to go through your reference book or railway engineering textbook. You can prefer any book, and again you can go through that particular thing we have discussed. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
so when is
Hmm.
our second section exam?
What?
When is our second section exam?
Which exam? You
Second
can write in
sectional?
chat box. You can write in chat box. I will answer. Okay. Write in chat box because I can't hear you right now. So I advise you to go through the textbooks or my class recording, also the notes. Okay. Also go through the recording. Okay. And additionally, you can also refer book. You can refer Saxena and Aurora textbook of railway engineering. Okay. This one good. Okay. Okay.
Sir,
Yes.
what will be the syllabus for our second session?
Wait. Let's first decide when is going to be okay. And suppose it's
Uh,
going to be happen for second sessional, then I think for first sessional, what is the session the syllabus? Do you remember for first sessional? I think the first module, right?
first, yes,
Isn't
sir,
it?
the first module.
Yeah. So it will be
Yes, sir.
from second module, but I don't know up to which point. But till now, we can consider second module. It may be increased. Okay, but depend on the date of the sessional exam. Fine. So don't worry about
Okay,
the
sir.
exam right now. Just go through the learning process. Okay.
Okay.
So I'm actually discussing about the revision. Okay. So in the first module of railway engineering, we have discussed about different component of uh, railway track, the load bearing component like rail, sleeper, ballast. Okay. Even though you can also consider foundation, you can also go through the foundation part from the textbooks. Okay. I think we can go through that. The basic idea about foundation. That means the soil actually. Okay. And the second module, what we have discussed? We have discussed about different error or different forces, resisting forces acted upon on the uh, railway, which try to prevent the movement, which no resist the movement of the smooth movement of the railway. Or we have also discussed about different failure point or cause of failure, like different failure of rail lines and even the creep, right? So we have discussed about this. So in this third module, so we'll start from this class. We're going to start third module. So basically, this third module is all about the basic geometric design. I think even in your 5th semester transportation, you have gone through the highway geometric design, right? The similar way we are going to discuss about that basic geometric design of railway. Okay, so it will start from the alignment. So basically, we are going to discuss about alignment. That means a smooth, safe, and economical alignment of a railway track. How to decide a particular alignment, and what are the other factors which may affect in the deciding. That means that they are a deciding factor. Which are the deciding factor for a alignment? Okay, clear? Okay. So in this particular module, we're going to discuss about ideal alignment of a railway. Okay, how to select alignment of a railway, and then we're going to discuss about horizontal curve, vertical curve, especially gradient. Okay, and super elevation. Fine. All these things will be included in this module. Fine. So let me share my screen now. So basically in this class, especially if in this class, we are going to discuss about alignment. What is alignment? How we're going to, what are the factors that we need to consider for alignment? Okay, can you see the screen?
Yes,
I think my screen is visible, right? Okay. So basically what is alignment? I think you already got these things in 5th semester for highway. Similar way, we can give a definition for railway also. So when it comes to railway, the alignment of railway line refer to the direction and position. Gives to the center line of the railway track. Basically, alignment represents what? Direction and position. What is the direction of the railway line and what is the position? To safeguard the smooth movement of the railway. Fine. So railway line, the alignment of a railway line refer to the direction and position gives to the central line of the railway track on the ground. Basically, we are center line means if you consider uh, highway, going to draw this one. If I consider a highway, basically alignment we consider as a center line, center line of the road, isn't it? Similar way, alignment you can say alignment of railway, you can say the center line of the railway track. If I consider this is a rail, this is a rail, it will be central line. So we have to make center. Okay. So for smooth and safe movement of the railway. So alignment of railway line refer to the direction and position given to the center line of the railway track on ground in the horizontal and vertical plane. Horizontal and vertical plane. That means why these two terms give differently? Because in when it comes to horizontal, there is a two way of movement. One is your straight movement and another one is your curve movement, right? You know these things. And in vertical curve, especially in hilly areas, in vertical planes, you have to give a vertical curve for rising gradient or decreasing gradient, right? So depend on the geography also. Horizontal alignment refer to the direction of the railway track in the plane, including straight path and curves. I already discussed, right? I have already mentioned that when it comes to horizontal alignment, in horizontal alignment, it referred to the mainly about the straight path and the curve path, basically. And when it comes to vertical alignment basically gives the refer to the direction. It follows in a vertical plane, including the level track, gradient, and vertical class. We have already discussed now. We already mentioned that vertical alignment mainly deals with your level track, whether your track is level or not. Okay, must be level. Then your gradient, whether it is rising gradient or different types of gradient, we're going to discuss in coming classes. Okay, different gradient will be there. Then vertical curves. Okay, vertical curves mainly join the lower point and a higher point in a hill area. Okay, we need to give a vertical curves. or Schmidt curve, you can say. These things already you have got in highway engineering also, but we are going to discuss the same thing again for the railway engineering. Clear? Okay, this is all about alignment. Now, why alignment is so important? So basically, alignment is done before the construction. Okay, so if you're not because railway uh, means railway engineering mainly deals with high cost. Okay, high cost of construction, high cost of maintenance. Okay, and when I say high cost means it will cross crore, lakhs of crores. Okay, if you check the railway Indian Railway website, if there is any data, you will find out particular for one railway project. It's the cost of the railway project will be in a lakh of crore. Okay, some lakhs of crore. Okay, so the construction cost of the railway is too high. Even the maintenance cost of the railway also very high. Clear? So, before going for the construction, we have to ensure that whether the railway track is going to be constructed is going to be uh, safe or not. Fine. So it have to be pre-decided. So deciding of the safe alignment, safe and secure, and economical alignment is very important. Okay, and it also depends on alignment. Also depend on different mode of railway. Okay, that means different railway project. For different railway project, there are different way of dealing with the alignment. Fine. When I said different types of railway projects, do you have any idea what kind of railway project will be there? It depends on for what purpose the railway project is going to be serve the society. Like whether it is a so there is a kind of you can say you can categorize the railway project in a four-way, like a conventional rail, like the passenger train. Okay, the conventional railway project. Next, we can also consider high-speed rail project. Okay, it's little bit a upgraded one, upgraded rail project. It is also passenger rail. You can also consider a metro rails, right? Metro rails also a kind of a passenger rails. And the fourth one you can say freight and goods rail, which actually carries goods. Okay, but even your conventional rail, high-speed rail, and metro rails related to passengers, but their service target point will be different. The conventional rail may be connected to interstate, okay, state to state or country to country. Okay, even the high-speed rate also be within a country or state to state. But the metro rails you can consider the metro rails it is basically it moves within a city. Okay, am I audible clearly?
Yes, sir.
So my volume is occupied. Okay, if I want to increase, then I have to shout. Fine, so it's better also you also check your internet. Okay, from my side, if others are for others it's clear, right? So I think from your side, okay too. I think from your side, I think it is little bit of network problem will be there. So please check this. Fine. So what I'm telling you that yeah, different railway project have different approach and different alignment deciding criteria. Fine. Even the if I say goods and freight railway project, so the deciding alignment also depend on. Suppose if I consider a goods rail actually carrying the coal, okay, coal, then it's must connected to that particular that coal mining area. So I'm giving you some example how to decide alignment. It's also depend on the objective of particular rail. Okay, so anyway, so this is all about the basic introduction of the railway alignment. Fine. Now let's discuss about importance of good alignment. Why we need a good alignment? It is very simple or very easy to understand why we need good alignment. So if your good alignment means straight, we need a proper straight alignment as far as possible. Okay, it will reduce cost. Fine. And if we also need a safe alignment for safety purpose, like that. So a new railway line should be aligned carefully after proper consideration. After proper consideration means what? Proper consideration means it's all included, all the detailed designing of the railway. Then before that you go for surveying, engineering survey of that alignment, go in the field, go for economic survey, then preliminary survey. That means overall survey. Okay, you have to do. After that you have to decide the proper alignment. Okay, you have to go through the geological survey also, whether the foundation contains soil or rock. Okay, all these things matters. That means after proper consideration, proper analysis, you have to select a new railway line alignment. Okay, because improper alignment may ultimately prove to be more costly and may not be able to fulfill the desired objective. Railway line constructions are capital intensive project also. Once constructed, it is very difficult to change the alignment of the railway line because the costly structure involved. As I already told you, the railway project involves a huge amount of money. Okay, it's a very costly. So you have to be ensured that alignment is good. Okay, so this is all about why good alignment is very important. This is all about it. You can also go through this. So basic requirement of ideal alignment. Okay, so I already told you that the purpose of first point of basic requirement of ideal alignment, like purpose of new alignment. So I already told you now whether it is a good rails or metro rails or high speed rails or conventional rail. What is the purpose of the rail project is the suitable selection of suitable alignment is also depend on the purpose of railway line. Okay. So alignment of new railway line should serve the basic purpose for which the railway line is being constructed. So I have here in this particular notes additional some information also added here. Suppose a purpose like strategic or political consideration, like if I want a practical example like Kashmir Rail Link, which is actually a railway line connect. It's in order to connect the Kashmir with the other part of the India. It's basically to connect Kashmir. Okay, it's little bit of political. There's some political agenda also be behind this particular project, so you can consider this in a strategical or political consideration. So based on that, also we go for particular countries also go for constructing railway lines to connect to state to connect. Okay, in between the or more connectivity between the state, interstate development of backward areas. Okay, shortening or existing rail lines or connecting the trade centers. All these things also matter. Okay, like suppose some important cities are there. Okay, I'm giving you some example here. Suppose here one two states are suppose this one suppose this is your one, this is your two, this is your three, this is your four. Okay, these four states are there. So for a given, I'm giving an example. Okay, suppose one train, I need to construct a rail in order to connect one and three. Okay, these two are suppose city or whatever you say. Okay, so it's better to connect. Say, although we need to go for connecting three, but these two and four also important. Okay, so it's better going through by this. You can also go like this, isn't it? So it will be a better connectivity. So why I'm giving like this? Because connectivity of trade center. Suppose there is an important trade or important um, uh, in terms of revenue or whatever you say, or in terms of any industry will be there in two number cities. So we need to connect two also. So we have to go for that side also. Although the straight line is a perfect alignment, we have to go for connecting these two number city because of the purpose. Okay, so these things also matter. Got it? That means overall we can say the purpose of the railway line matter in deciding the good alignment or ideal alignment. Okay. Okay. So integrated development, the new railway line should fit in the general planning and form a part of the integrated development of the country. So basically this is a general point. You can also go through this. No need to explain here. Economical consideration. Now, particular alignment must so decided that it should be economical also. Okay. Now, under this, first point you can say the shortest route. Okay. You have to decide which is the shortest route to connect to point. Okay. So, shorter route comes with the less construction cost or maintenance cost. Fine. So it is desirable to have the shortest and most direct route between the connecting point. The shorter is the length of the railway line, and the lower would be the cost of the construction, even maintenance and operation. तो जितना short होगा railway line, उतना ही the cost of construction and maintenance, even the operation cost will be less. Therefore, however, the practical consideration that can lead to derivation from the shortened route. But there is some obstruction may also come where in some places or some condition shortest route not always possible to keep, but preferably always go for finding shortest route. Okay. Then construction and maintenance cost. Okay, these things also important to consider in deciding the railway alignment. The alignment of the line should be so chosen cost comparatively low. This can be achieved by a balanced cut and fill of artwork, minimizing rock cutting and drainage crossing by locating the alignment or watershed line and such other technical consideration. So basically, suppose you have got one particular project, you have deciding alignment. So suppose in a particular area which is needs to go for a railway, you need to go for some art cutting. So that particular cost also be included in the construction cost, and you have to be ensured whether how to balance that particular uh, cost. That means you need to minimize the or you need to balance the cost of the art filling and art, you can say art cutting also can be considered. Okay. Or suppose in particular bedrock a bedrock present in the ground. Okay, how to avoid rock or how to deal with a particular geological strata. Okay, so that particular approach adoption of that particular approach is mainly deal with the maintenance and construction cost. You have to always uh, consider the cost of the particular construction. Okay. So maintenance cost can be reduced by avoiding steep gradient and sharp curves, which cause heavy wear and tear of the rail and rolling stock. We already discussed in the second module that even in the horizontal curve, there's a chance of failure or wear and tear of rail. Okay, so if possible, go for the straight route. Okay, and uh, try to avoid your horizontal curve or steep curve or sharp curve. Okay, in some places it's not possible to avoid, but as far as possible, always always give first reference for the shortest route or the straight path. Okay. So like that, minimum operational expenses also be matter of concern. The alignment should be such that the operational and transportation expenses are minimum. It's obvious also. This can be done by maximizing the haulage of goods with the given power of the locomotive and tractive mix. This can be achieved by providing easy gradient, avoiding sharp curves, and adopting direct route. That means the operational expenses also indirectly, or you can say directly also, is depend on the alignment. Because if suppose your alignment is not straight path, if the alignment is, suppose your alignment is your containing your steep gradient or sharp curve, okay, then in the particular steep curve, that particular locomotive cannot carry uh, lots of wagons along with it, okay, because of the sharp curve. Fine. So that's how you can say it is directly affected the revenue generation, you can say. So you can say the operational expenses also be increased due to the inconvenience of the locomotive in carrying the um, wagon attached with it, especially in case of sharp curves, okay, even in the rising gradient, all these things. So it's better to avoid rising gradient, sharp curve, and better to adopt straight path where your operational expenses will be also be low. And very important, safety and comfort also is very important for passengers. Alignment should be such that to provide maximum safety and comfort to the traveling public. This can be achieved by designing curves with proper transition length, providing vertical curves for gradient, and incorporate other such technical features. That means we're going to discuss about this horizontal curves and vertical curve in coming classes anyway. So we have to design the vertical curve and horizontal curve in such a way that there should not be any inconvenience faced by the passengers inside a train. So you all in deciding a perfect alignment, you have to ensure that the safety and comfort of the passengers within a train. Okay. Then aesthetic consideration is also one of the important matter. That means uh, when a railway engineer deciding a railway alignment, this aesthetic view nearby the railway track is also very important. Okay, that means the particular railway track should not pass through a unhygienic area. Fine, it should cross through a natural landscape. Okay, so while deciding the alignment, aesthetic aspect should also be given due weightage. Okay, a journey by rail should be visually pleasing. This can be done by avoiding views of borough pits, passing the alignment through natural and beautiful surrounding. Okay, it's better to go for deciding the railway alignment through the natural and beautiful surroundings and avoid borough pits or any unhygienic surroundings. Okay, so this is all about the point which you need to consider. That means basic requirement of a ideal alignment. Fine. So selection of good alignment. Now, how to decide or other the factors would actually um, effect on deciding a good alignment. So there are some listed here. So likewise, selection of good alignment. So normally, the direct straight route connecting two points is the shortest, okay, and which is preferable for ideal alignment. A direct straight alignment is an ideal and safe. You can say a good alignment. And most economical route for railway line. It is also economical. But there are practical problems and other compulsion which necessitate deviation from the route. It's of course that it's not possible to provide throughout the straight alignment because of the geographical obstruction. You have to keep some go for deviate from the straight path. You have to give some horizontal curve, vertical curve in hilly areas, right? So different factors, the various factors involved in the selection of the good alignment for railway lines are like choice of gauge. That means depending on the type of gauge also different alignment matters. That means whether you are using a broad gauge, meter gauge, or narrow gauge. Okay, so this choice of gauge also effect on deciding a good alignment. Nowadays, basically, in India, government of India mainly for new railway line construction, they use the broad gauge one. Okay, so obligatory or controlling point. That means what are the points mainly need to consider, or you can say that they are control points. Means what? They are actually the key points that need to consider in deciding a good alignment. Okay, so there are points through which the railway line must pass due to political, strategic, or commercial reason, as well as due to technical consideration. So some of the controlling points are like important cities in town that you cannot miss. That means you need to connect with that important cities. Okay, so these are mostly intermediate important towns, cities, places which are commercial, strategic, or politically important. So you need to connect with that particular cities with your own city. That means for that you need, if possible, you need to deviate from your straight path if their requirement is there. Okay. Then major bridge or river crossing. So consideration of major bridges for large river is very expensive, and suitable bridge site becomes obligatory point for a good alignment. That means suppose in a for a across a river there is a existing river bridge consisting a railway line. If you're going through a new railway line, then you must go through that railway bridge only, not going through the new additional railway bridge, because construction of railway bridge is very expensive. For that, you may be required to deviate from the straight ideal alignment. Fine. Then existing passes and saddles in hilly areas, hilly terrains. So passes and saddles are basically a part of a hilly area, hilly terrains. Okay. So wait, let me give you. So basically, what your passes means what your, let me see. Okay, wait, the lowest point of a hill. Okay, it's basically this passes and saddle deals with your geology. Okay, and saddle is mainly these 2 points are the very important point in hilly area. Okay, and for deciding an alignment in hilly area, these 2 points are very important to find out. Okay, so existing passes and saddles should be identified for crossing a hilly terrain in order to avoid deep cutting and high bank. Okay, and of course size for tunnel. So it's better for go for tunneling in case of hill. Okay, the option of tunnel in place of deep cut in hill terrains is better for economical point of view. Okay, so it's better to go for tunnel. It give you a straight alignment. It's provide you a straight alignment. Okay, so in additional to this factors which effect in the selecting the good alignment. In addition to that, we have we have this topographical factor also that can be considered, whether your topography of a particular city or country is plain or hilly. Okay, these things are mountainous. This particular topography of the particular country or particular state or city, this also be matter. That means the topography is also important, whether you are going to give a vertical curve or horizontal curve, whether you need to go for cutting the soil or filling the soil. This depend on the topography of the country. So this topography of country or topography of a particular site is also matter in uh, deciding your ideal or deciding your suitable or safe alignment of a railway. Okay, you can also go through this. like geometric design also, or geometric standard. Okay, geometrical standard is also one of the factor. The geometrical standard should be so adopted as to economize as much as possible. Okay, and also considering safety and comfort of the passenger. Okay, and this can be done by adopting gradient and curves with permissible limit. That means when there is a provision of horizontal curve, or when there is a provision of vertical curve, you have to design that vertical curve or horizontal curve so precisely, okay, so that the cost of the construction is um, within the limit. Also, you need to consider safety and comfort of the passengers also. Okay, that means geometric design is also a matter of concern in deciding your alignment. Then geological formation also matter, whether your foundation is, whether your contains soil, whether there is so compacted soil, what is the type of the soil, whether it contains rock. Okay, though rocky soils provides a stable formation, it is little costly also to lay the railway track over the rocky soil. It is a little uh, tedious and cost consuming also. So there is some factor also, geological factor also matter of consideration. Next, your effect of flood and climate. That you also ensure that whether the what is the climate condition in a particular area, whether the flood intensity, and what is the maximum flood level. That means you also have uh, observed that your railway embankment is so high from your natural ground. Okay, you must ensure that railway track should not be flooded. Okay, so that particular climate and flood uh, history, flood history, or climate history, or forecasting of the flood and climate, it's also very important in deciding the alignment. Fine. The alignment should normally pass through the area which are not likely to be flooded. The climate condition should also be taken into consideration for alignment. Okay, these things it's very important to take it in consideration for deciding the alignment. Okay. After that, passing a road and road crossing. That means whenever you see if there is a way that is a highway and a railway is coming close to each other, or it's crossing each other, okay, then it should cross in a perpendicular level crossing. That means we need to give a perpendicular level crossing so as to minimize the chances of accident. Fine. A railway line should cross a highway or should cross a road at right angles so as to have a perpendicular level crossing and avoid accident. Okay. About level crossing, we are going to discuss in coming module. Okay. So like this, there are different some important points are like that given, like proximity of labor and materials. What kind of materials are available in particular area or not? Labors are in a particular area where you're going to lay your alignment. Whether sufficient labor can be go through a particular area or not, whether materials can be taken to that particular area or not. Okay, these things also matter in consideration. Okay, then location of the railway station, where you're going to fix your railway station and yards, these things also be matter. Then religious and historical monuments is in their way of railway alignment, whether some religious and historical monument will come or not. Okay, so these things, especially in country like India, this is very important. Okay, cost consideration is already mentioned, right? Cost consideration. The traffic consideration, alignment should also be selected that it attract maximum traffic. This is also very important. You are not you are not used you are not going to lay your railway line in a um, area where nobody lives. Okay, so basically depend on the uh, possible traffic also. Okay, the alignment should also be selected that it attract maximum traffic. Okay, that economical consideration is also very important. Okay, somewhere here. Okay, wait. Then political consideration. So these are kind of, you can also read out by yourself also. They are not that technical. These things are little ethical one. Okay, like political consideration, economical consideration. Okay, then traffic consideration. So these all are mainly. Then labor and material proximity, then location of railway station and yard, whether religious and historical monuments will come or encounter along the railway line, cost consideration, okay, or in the level crossing, okay. Then temperature, flood and climate condition, geological condition, geometrical consideration, all these things also depend on also topography of a particular site and country. So all these factors also uh, perform an important role in deciding a alignment for a railway line. Okay. So this is all about today class. In this class, we have decided what we have discussed about railway alignment. What is basically about what is railway alignment? How can we decide a railway alignment? What is the features of ideal alignment? Okay, and what are the factors which are mainly need to be considered while deciding a alignment, perfect alignment for a railway track or railway line, a new railway line, you can say. Clear? So this is all about today class. Next class we're going to discuss about in detail about like gradient. Then we'll going to discuss about horizontal curve. Then we'll go for super elevation. Okay, that part is very important. Super elevation. We're going to do some problem also in super elevation. Clear? Fine. Is there any doubt?
So,
Sir,
Yeah. Okay. Wait. Okay. If you don't have any doubt, then I'll stop my recording here and I will take your attendance. Okay. I'm stopping my recording.